Yesterday, Brendan Rodgers was sipping tea and loving life as his team won 6-4. But today, alright, Celtic have rejected a bid for Matt O'Reilly from Atalanta, and it's rumoured to be around 15 million. And now, finally, we're cooking with gas. Finally, something in this transfer window's happening. Could this be the spark? Don't even want to sing that Bruce Springsteen song. I know what it's associated with. Don't want England to win the Euros. They were milking that last night. But anyway, spark, whatever. Could this be the spark that elevates this transfer window into something? But 15 million, we know it's short of the mark. Celtic wants something in the region of 30. I'm not surprised it's rejected, right? We look back to the past with Kieran Tierney. Remember, Arsenal bid 15, rejected. 20, rejected. 25, accepted. I think we'll see something similar to that from Atlanta. Maybe Atlanta won't come back in for the guy, but I think Atlanta, right, know that. I think the Serie A clubs know that like the Scottish leagues is a decent, it's a decent league to go and pick talent from. They probably look at Lewis Ferguson and be like, he was doing that for Aberdeen. Look what Bologna's done. Look, he's done at Bologna. Matt O'Reilly, he could do something absolutely insane if we sign him. But 15 million, it looks like to be the fee. That is the rumour. That will be a pretty big signing, if you ask me, for Atlanta. If they can get it over the line, they're going to have to come in again, obviously, because Celtic have rejected the bid. Will they pay 30 million? Serie A clubs they don't really fork out that sort of money. Now the 23-year-old is expected to be the subject of another bid, but he is under contract at the club until 2027, which that's 3 years away. It's not a case if he's got 1 year left on his deal. There's really no excuse here for Celtic not to get a decent transfer fee out of this. But they're not spending their war chest. Is this their emergency war chest? Were they waiting on player sales to sign players? We all know clubs that do that. Or Celtic, they laugh at Rangers for having to sell people to buy people. Is that what Celtic are doing? Because where's the movement? Where is the movement from Celtic Football Club to sign these football players? There's nothing happening, and people can't be happy about it. Obviously, Kieran Tierney and Jota. I think Jota's was just a wee bit more than Kieran Tierney's, but the Hoops believe that influential midfielders should command a club record transfer if they are to sell him this summer, which is 25 million or above. It has to be over 25 million, so 25.1 would break the transfer record for Celtic. Matt O'Reilly, is he worth more than 25 million? He's 23. I think he is. I think you've got to be respectful here, and I know a lot of Rangers fans aren't gonna be happy with me saying that I think he's worth this sort of money, but I think he is. He's 23, fantastic numbers. A lot of people point to the fact he's not in the Danish setup, but yeah, Jack Butland's not in the England setup. There's a lot of Rangers players over the years that should have been called into squads. There's a lot of players that should have been called into squads. We all know that Shanklin should have started over Shea Adams. What happens at international level doesn't set the pace. Alright, there's a lot of players that get excluded from their national teams for other reasons, and just because you do, or you don't get picked, or you barely get any minutes, doesn't mean that your price at club level should get slashed by 80%. It doesn't mean that. Now, Atlanta have opened talks with Scottish champions. They're going to make that other bid. He's also attracting interest from other clubs across Europe. This should probably spark a bidding war. Southampton, Leicester, all those sort of clubs that have been linked with moves from Matt O'Reilly. The fact that Atlanta, this is like the first recognised bid, would tell me that these other clubs are probably going to come in. These Premier League clubs that have got that dosh are probably going to have to come in soon, or else they could risk losing Matt O'Reilly, because it wouldn't surprise me if he went to Serie A, man, and within a year or two his transfer value is like up at 60 million. And it's not only would you be getting a great player, you got to think of the profit. If Leicester or Southampton signed O'Reilly and stay in the Premier League, they could probably sell him to a Tottenham or a whoever, Newcastle, for double what they brought him in at least, and I think it would be a good sign all round. But obviously 19 goals, 18 assists and 49 appearances, that's fantastic. Can't argue with that. He did score in the 6-4 pre-season win at Queen's Park, and like I said, he's under contract until 2027. They did knock back that Atletico Madrid's bid. Now, Brendan Rodgers, obviously, listen to this fun bit of trivia. Celtic are the only Scottish Premiership club yet to make a signing this summer, but ahead of their pre-season trip to the USA, Rodgers insisted there was no need to panic. Of course, Celtic do play an American MLS team, Manchester City and Chelsea. I don't know the name. Is it DC United? Is it Philadelphia United? I don't really know. I don't really care. Bid's been rejected. More to follow.